In the early pioneer days, herds of buffalo roamed the Great Plains from the Allegheny Mountains in the east to the Rockies in the west. People say they numbered over 100 million. The Indians often migrated with the buffalo because they were so dependent for food and fur in the cold winters.
We're shooting buffalo. Government says killed 1 million of them last year alone.
The history of it? Well, the history started out in 1868 when they signed a treaty, and they said, okay, one of the things, if we put you on a reservation, you aren't be able to roam around and hunt for buffalo and all this, and then be able to support yourself the way you're used to supporting yourself. Mm-hmm. They said, okay, we will put you on this reservation, but we will also provide you with commodities. But them days they called it rations. So that eventually grew into the commodity program. It was called one time the Needy Family Program. It's easier to get commodities, and instead of giving food stamps, we give you actually give you the food. The food stamps, you get a coupon, you can go into the store and buy what you need. But the only thing on the reservations, there isn't that many grocery stores, and in the wintertime, if you've got food stamps and you run out of food, and if you can't get any place, it boils down to you have to eat your food stamps. See, but the commodity program, we will give you the food to eat. See, we give fresh fruit, vegetables, fresh frozen chicken, hamburger, buffalo, and they've got to come in and see what we issue. This stuff here is what we're using this month in this part of the warehouse. See, that's where we keep our inventory. It's easier. The inventory right here is what we use for this month. You can't keep it same temperature in here year round, summer and winter. Like I said, the best thing that could possibly happen, we wouldn't need the program. That would mean that everybody has a job and they don't need to come and get food. It's like the best thing that could happen to the food stamp program is we won't need it. But that's about our program.
Yeah.
My name is Angie Reyes, and I'm the owner of the La India Bonita Burritos. And we have a fast food Mexican restaurant here in Kyle. And we're located on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation. And our business is owned myself, my husband, and we have 3 employees, which are 3 of our children. And we have been here for, November will be 11 years that we started our business. But we moved back, we lived in Texas for 17 years, and then we moved back. We couldn't find the work, so we started selling burritos out of a cooler. We started selling 20, 30 burritos a day. And then people got to like our food. So we purchased a little camper trailer. We converted it into a concession trailer. We were parked up by the post office here in Kyle.
Did you grow up here?
Yes, I am from here. I am from the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation. My husband is originally from Chihuahua, Mexico. He is the cook here. He cooks the food here, and I am his sales lady. And we have 5 wonderful children, 13 grandchildren, and we are very happy to be a part of the community. There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you. Be careful so your little don't fall. All right, thanks, and come back. All right.
Very nice. Thanks. That's what I need. Yeah. I'm heading out towards Loveland, Colorado in seek of employment because there's no employment on the reservation. I got a job offer up there. Hopefully things will work out good for me up there in Loveland, Colorado. The unemployment here on the res is it's hard to find jobs unless you got to do your own thing, like do arts and crafts or something to make ends meet and stuff like that, you know.
What they should do is they should relocate a lot of these ferrets. Ferrets and weasels are all up and down this creek here. There's much ferrets. Oh, in that little chicken coop over there, I had 200 head of chickens. They wiped them out in 45 minutes. The whole 200. I just felt so sick about it. And they're complaining about prairie dogs. I'm putting my dad in. There's a little keychain here, see? Moxon, but it's a keychain. Did you sell that other one?
I don't know what happened to it.
Oh yeah, that guy bought it for 35. Remember from Tennessee, Nashville, I forgot. I'm not much of a salesperson. Oh yeah, you want to try it on?
I think the scamming and hustling is kind of like a individual participating outside the realm of a structured workforce, and they're utilizing their skills and their knowledge of how to acquire dollars or services.
One of the things that's really important to me that I had experience being unemployed on the reservation was looking for different creative ways to get things done. There's a vast network of people helping people, and it's like a huge bartering system. For instance, I used to barter childcare so I could go to college.
It's kind of like a derogatory, scamming and hustling, because it puts individuals in a realm of kind of like a corrupt activity, but in reality that they are utilizing their skills and knowledge and participating in whatever activity they choose, and to acquire a minimum amount of dollars that they need to sustain their own livelihood. And really the term would be bartering, the bartering for services and trading. That's what really happens on a reservation itself.
That's a good one. Hustling. What are you doing today? Well, I'm hustling. Yeah. That's a good one. Watch that.
So as you can see, I have a lot of dogs around my house. There's strays that come in and I take them in. Those even cost me money, but I struggle, and I get along with the veterinarian down there at Gordon, so when they get sick, I take them down there, and he gives me the bill, and then I go in on the first and I pay it off. Or either if I can't, if it's over like $200-300, I take a star quilt and mortgage that. I said, if I can pay for it, we can have it. But I always end up paying it because my son, those are my son's dogs, so he kind of helps me on the side too. The apartment he lives in, Rapid City, they don't allow pets in there, so you can't take them back.
These guys that got, when they weren't working, they come over here, they visit, they're really my buddies, and then they get a job and they start going that high, fast lane, They don't even wave at me when I drive by anymore. What is it?
A dog called a rabbit. It's scary.
Oh, that's their food.
What's that thing?
We have people that do menial jobs and get elected to the council, and all of a sudden, they have a wide available resources, and these resources is what, like we was talking about, hustling and scheming and whatever else, and these are the people that are normally approached, My cousin, he was unemployed. All of a sudden he got elected on the council. And now the people in his community are people that he interacts with, feel that he has an unending supply of money,
Internalizing oppression is when somebody tells you you're stupid, when somebody tells you you're worthless, when somebody tells you you're not anything, you start to become that, and that's what we have become. Mm-hmm. And when you talked about on the reservation, that's a blanket. I mean, that's a blanket of oppression there, and on a more personal level, it's the lateral oppression is how we started treating each other. And the tactics of the government plays itself out right in the tribal government. It's a mini United States government. It's highly oppressive.
Corruption.
Yeah, we are our own worst oppressors.
There's this little animal. Remember you cut his tail off and it grows back? That's us. Remember some kind
those
of
lizards? Yeah.
Yeah, that's us, but we're biting our own tail off. When it grows out so far, we bite it off. And it's just like a little vicious circle that I'm going round and round. Why? Because all these people around us, on top of us, are every little piece that falls or crumb that comes in, they're nabbing at it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're doing it to each other.
And one thing that I observed on the reservation is that it's a dynamic or an illustration called the bucket of crabs. When one person gets ahead or has a new job or gets a new car or even gets a new jacket or moves to a bigger house on the reservation, we are so oppressed and we are so laterally violent to each other because of this internalized oppression that, and jealous of each other, that people will say, well, they got a car because they had to have embezzled somewhere. They ripped somebody off, so they got ahead. And that's a really, really negative stance to be in.
And there was a lot of pressure from, like, the older women. Like, they're saying, what is she doing with that job? You know, how come she's got that job? You know, and it was just, they'd come in and they'd say little smart things and then they'd leave. And we had to write that down every time it happened. And nothing ever got done about it. You know, they still go up there to this day and they still do that to the people, girls up there, you know.
What a slow day.
She makes them in different sizes. Right now I'm in between jobs, unemployed. I have no more unemployment, so basically unfortunately, I have to find another resource. And that resource is going back to beadwork and marketing. And so, and I'm targeting the tourists. I worked with the public safety on a reservation. I'm a certified police officer. And so then I worked as a police officer shortly. Then I went into being a jailer and worked there, and also worked as a dispatcher for the Pine Ridge Police Department. Those were very interesting jobs. That's where my heart was. And also I worked as an EMT for the tribe for 2.5 years. I loved that job. That was a job that I really loved because it's a job about caring. And what we lack with our younger people on this reservation is the Lakota language. So with me on the ambulance service, you know, I was able to relate to the injured or to the sick elderly and helping them by talking Lakota. And that could really calm your patient down.
Available security guard to the office, please.
I decided to start working out to Prairie Winds before my father got sick, and managed to finally come get hired on the 24th of December. I like working out to Prairie Winds. I like the way it's going. Although we could use some more, improvement on our building and such, I still like the environment. I'm just trying to find a way to support myself. I went to school in Rosebud while I was living there. I went to the University of St. Eglishka there. I have 2 years of college. But being as there's very little employment on this reservation, I can't get a real good paying job. Even out here, the good paying jobs are already filled and been filled for years. So it's like have to start from the ground up. So that's how I became a blackjack dealer, is to try to get into the casino and to try to find a spot there, a good job.
Brave men came from the north, the east, the south, the west. By the tens, the hundreds, the thousands, they tunneled the mountainside. They combed the gulches, they strained the rivers, creeks, and streams in their wild quest for gold. But the romantic day of the placer miner was short-lived. No more could gold be washed from the coarse gravel of the creek beds. The placers were worked out. The bewhiskered pioneer with pick, shovel, and gold pan had served his day. And that day he served well, for he set the stage for a greater era and new industry, destined to take its place with agriculture in South Dakota.
Wait a second.
You mix pure lye with pure methanol and it makes a sodium methoxide mixture, which is a catalyst. It causes the molecules in the vegetable oil to separate into its diesel fuel and glycerin.
And a few monoglycerides.
Yeah. The vegetable oil is made of monoglycerides, diglycerides, and triglycerides, and as long as they're bonded together, it's pretty much unusable. So you have to run it through the chemical reaction process to separate it and break it down. And then it's the diglycerides that makes the diesel fuel, right?
Yeah. It's a good renewable resource. Good for Indian country, good for the world, actually. We can grow it all here. We can manufacture it in large quantities here. We have a large unemployment base. I believe if some dumb welders like us can build this and get it put together, I think we can train the people to run it with very little problem. We have the labor base to do it. We just need a little bit of money to get started a little better.
Today we're gonna cut some wood today. In a couple of days we're gonna be doing a sweat lodge. It helps us too, you know. It gives us a good spiritual, you know, guiding through all the land use. You know, I believe that land and spirituality just go right together. There's a, you know, connection. So there's gonna be a lot of people come in, especially young guys. You know, the future leaders, they're coming around. So, you know, to talk about these things and then heat the grandfathers and then use the water, use the sacred fire, and then use the grandfather stones, and then, you know, to, you know, talk about these good things is really good for the young guys because they get a real good understanding there and, you know, they want to do something. And then I do, you know, teepees. I make, you know, teepees. I go through Indian country setting up a lot of teepees. A lot of different functions, you know, graduation ceremonies, all different kinds. So I do a little bit of that. I go around, put them up wherever you want them. You know, gymnasium, wherever they want the teepee up at. I fab it so it fits in that area. So it's, I do a lot of stage, you know, backdrops, and I go around showing people how to put up teepees or just helping at the local, you know, sundances, and so that's how I've been surviving the past 10 years. Yeah, just making whatever worked at that time of the season and what really pushed at that. That's how I survived all this time here in Indian country. The actual way to say teepee in Lakota is tihikcha. That's to put things in, where you put things. May it be your heart, everything that you have. B.I.A. I'm not your Indian anymore.
I'm Calvin White Butterfly, and I'm from Wakantiospe, number 12 community of the Wounded Knee district. And I'm trying to utilize some of these resources that we have. My family has about 360 acres here on top.
Por el suelo hay una compadrita que ya nadie se para mirar. Por el suelo hay una mamacita que se muere de no respetar.
I was thinking of the land use, getting a land use permit to do that. And I'm not too sure. Last time I talked to the superintendent, he told me to go ahead and do it, and it would probably generally take about a month or two.
Cuídate, no te vaya a mojar, escuchando la última rola, mamacita te invito a bailar.
If you go down to the Bureau of Indian Affairs right now, some of our own members, it's like attending a different world because they use acronyms. You know, they speak in acronyms, and their perception is when they speak in acronyms, they cause a state of confusion for tribal members, and they think that's power. You know, they think that they have the intellectual skills over these individuals. I used to mention that to some of the key people when I said, "You guys speak in foreign tongue." But in reality, you're lucky I got educated enough to understand you. But what you're doing is you're creating your own language and creating confusion for the rest of the people. Well, they didn't like that. I said, what you should be doing is creating a manual, a glossary, and defining each acronym you use so that these people can read it and they can understand what you're saying. Because what you're doing is you're confusing and manipulating. And that's what they do.
Por el suelo camina mi pueblo, por el suelo hay un agujero, por el suelo camina la raza, mamacita te vamos a matar.
I would like to get my application for, taking my land out of range.
Jolene is done with the end for
Escuchando la última rola, mamacita te invito a bailar. Por el suelo camina mi pueblo, por el suelo moliendo condena, por el suelo el infierno quema, por el suelo la raza va ciega, esperando la última ola, Pachamama me muero de pena.
This is the very first step that you have to take to recover your land from the tribal B.I.A. leasing system. So it's only a one-pager is all it is. You fill it in and then bring it back.
B.I.A. you can change me, don't you try. We don't want your white man rule no more. We can live our own way.
I own 52 acres that I inherited from my mother's side, but it's an airship land, and there's a whole lot of us that own it, maybe a little acre here, acre there, and there you can't do anything with that, and then because of the B.I.A. and the government, we cannot be, although it belongs to us, we cannot profit off of that land as landowners. And that's the way the rules were written by the government. And who is to prosper? The farmers and the ranchers who are leasing our land. And that's the way it was programmed. So we can't go and live on that land unless we ask permission and are given permission. So.
The only thing that is really a barrier to our development here economically is land. Land is the major barrier here.
Por el suelo hay una mamacita que se muere de no respetar.
Dig in and make like a basement structure, but it'll be hooked up, so it'll hook up to the house. And you just go down, and then there'll be doors on the bottom, so you just sit down on the bottom. This one here is gonna be the music room. To put a piano right there, and violin over there.
You're talking about Tioshpa development. You're not just talking about one family. You're talking about extended families that are going to all help each other. Say you have a big piece of land or adjacent together, so you can run your livestock together, or plant a huge community garden. And that to me is Tioshpa development, because working together makes people tired together. and then when they see the fruit of their work together, it they know that something got accomplished. So the easiest things to do in Tioshpa development are real basic. Grow food together, raise bison together, or horses together, or help each other build each other's houses, because in leadership, true leadership, a man who is a leader, what he does is he doesn't take things for himself. A true leader is going to always think of the people first and give them and what they need and see to their needs that they're met. But today it's just the opposite. When we elect tribal leaders in tribal government, they forget the people.
So we could use it, we could live on it, we could raise some buffalo, we could do something, man. Instead, here we are waiting. Let's not do that, man. Waiting for everything, wait in line for food, wait in line for money. We're waiting in line. We go to the hospital, you wait in line. Man, lines everywhere, all over in Indian country, man. All over. Let's not do that, man. Let's get out of line and let's go quit talking, let's go start reclaiming, start, taking back. That way we could be okay, our children be okay. Right now we're depressed, we're sick. Man, let's go get out of that.
I think every family should prosper off their land. I would like to grow hemp. I like to be a hemp grower, I'd like to do things on my land so I could live happily ever after or whatever,
Have you ever heard of anybody being denied a permit?
Oh, I have never heard of that, no.
They're pretty easy to get.
They're pretty easy to get, yeah. This concept was here before time, before the Europeans even got here. It was here, but it was a slight disruption that came from the westward movement that caused this, and we had to assimilate ourselves and acculturate ourselves from our olden before reservation days, and so here we are living on a social service economic status, and that's not going nowhere at all, where we have to depend on people. We have to do it ourselves. And I believe that is really strong inside of me, personally, and I look at it as that because that's our sole survival, Without that, I don't know where my grandchildren will be, when I'm gone.
Let them people, the rural towns, realize that we are the landlords. No more of this gimme shit. You better start giving to us back. Oh, it's hard to be a Lakota, I swear to God. I can't bring myself, I can't go to Rapid City. The people are so prejudiced up there. I'll end up killing somebody or hurting somebody or doing something stupid, landing in jail because of the way they treat us. 'Cause I don't think I deserve to be treated like the way they treat us, you know. So, because I lived in Denver. Denver is a beautiful town. Oh, I love Denver. There's no prejudice in there.
No?
Nope.
You know, no matter what town you look at, Rushville, Gordon, Rapid City, Hot Springs, these border towns have benefited hugely, daily, perennially. It's just like it's like a cash cow living next door to you that you never have to invest one dime in. How handy. It's beautiful. It's the perfect relationship. So why upset that apple cart? And so white towns have existed through the hardship and the suffering of their Indian neighbors. That's how we are. We like to feast. You know, we have a hard time towards the end of the month. All the money resources are out and everything. But the first thing we do, first of the month, when people start getting, they start putting on dinners. They forget about that, what we went through back there, and right away they want to have birthday dinner or, you know, just to have dinner together, eat together. And you know, that's what they like to do, gather and eat. And
I work for the college, and I'm a full-time instructor. I teach business classes. Business is a language of its own. We don't translate. We can't translate. I guess we can, but we don't. We can't translate the language of business in Lakota. And so it's really hard, you know, in order for me to try to retain and preserve my language in my area of expertise. And so I'm kind of between a rock and a hard place.
I was, making money, was really something that we had to take a look at. Myself. I was making like $63,000 a year, $50,000 a year. I was making a lot of money, and somewhere in my life, I don't know, it just came to a point of why do I have to have the stress level and continue to participate in a system that's already set. We never really change anything. Somebody told me that if you work in a system, you can change the system. That's not true. You just add to it and you fortify it. So if you get training and academic trainings and you join a system, then you fortify it and make it even stronger.
When I first moved over here, there was nothing here. Nothing. Old beat up refrigerator. I came home and I went to sleep. I had a whole pickup load of furniture. I was trying to dump off someplace, but everybody's asleep. I felt like I slept about a long time. I was really rested. I made up my mind. I said, went for a walk. I made up my mind. I'm coming home. Feel this good to be here. I'm coming home, you know. So I packed up went back to Denver, packed up my glad rags, and put in all my notices, and I made a mad dash home. Been home ever since.
Because this is paradise. Because this is paradise. This is paradise. I'll say that we're having a hard time here, but it's paradise. You've been here a few days. Ralph's been around, you know. Right here is where time slows down. People are in no hurry here. You know, we don't go by time, 8 o'clock, be here, and we don't. Whenever, that's Indian time. Whenever, you know, that's us. Time slows down. The pace of life. You go to a city or something, you know, people are running into each other and getting mad at each other, and you know, road rage they call it, you know. Getting bad out there, you know. But here it's not that way. Sometimes you might be the only one going down the road, you know. Only car, no cars around, just you're the only one, you know. Like that. You know. See a person walking on the road, you can stop and pick him up and give him a ride, you know. In the city, you can't do that, you know. You don't give nobody a ride, you know. But here, everybody takes care of each other. You know, it's life. It's a good life. You come back here, and it looks like it's paradise, you know. Because the way the people are, the way it is, you know, the reservation. Everybody looks out for each other, you know. Everybody takes care of each other. If somebody having a hard time and don't have nothing to eat, you know, you invite them over, you know, come over and eat, you know. Cook. You go to these feasts, dinners, you know, people feed, you know. You can go over there and eat all you want, you know. It's free, you don't have to pay for it. You know, that's us, you know, that's the way, our way of life, you know. That's the way we've been coming, and we take care of each other that way. So that's the reason why I said paradise. Paradise. This is paradise. Reservation life. Paradise. We enjoy it. Put that down. Paradise.
Vamos adelante para que salgamos en la lucha avantes, porque nuestra patria grita y necesita de todo el esfuerzo de los zapatistas. Hombres, niñas y mujeres, el esfuerzo siempre haremos, campesina y los obreros.
Just like if you hang around Mexican people, you start having their accent.
On the res again. Just can't wait to get on the res again. Singing songs and making movies with my friend. I can't wait to get on the res again. On the res again.
going places that I've never been, seeing things that I may never see again. I can't wait to get on the res again.
Here we go.
On the res again,
Like a band of Indians, we walk down the highway. We're the best of friends, insisting that the world be turning our way.
You
Watch day on the res again.
on the res again. Just can't wait to get on the res again. Singing songs and making movies with my friends.
And I can't wait to get on the res again.
No, I can't wait to get on the res again. No, I can't wait to get on the res again.